All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is January 8th, 2018, and the title of today's webinar is Master the Art of Drawing on Your Charts. And as everyone knows that's been to Viper webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. By the way, just a real quick heads up, I'm working on getting our little manual updated. See, Time Trader is going to be back, and so you're going to see Time Trader with some videos on it and everything. I'm working on that as we speak the next few days. Okay, so you'll have Time Trader. You're going to be able to activate it. I'll show that quite a bit tonight because we're going to be using Time Trader tonight, and you're going to want it because it's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and show a chart and get started with the webinar. Okay, real quick before I do show this, how many of you have trouble trading? You know, like, the market kind of jumps up, it goes against you, things like that. Do you draw on your charts? Because if you'll draw on your charts, you're going to see that a lot of that is just noise. Yeah, I mean, it can happen, can't it? Because, the whole thing is there's people that are trading, millions of dollars and things like that. And so therefore you've got, pretty good sized swings sometimes. And, for us little retail traders, we don't want to give, like $200 back on a trade. Okay. And, like if you've got 4 contracts, to give an example, in oil, that's 5 ticks. You see what I mean? If you've got 2 contracts in oil, that's 10 ticks. So, that's the whole idea of drawing on your charts. I think it's super, super important to draw on your charts. We've been hammering this for literally 9 years straight. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go to little chart that I've got set up here. And we're going to go over in detail tonight how to draw on your charts. Because I am here to tell you, if you will use the tools and draw on your charts, you will not lose money in trading. Because you will know where the trades are and you'll be able to actually draw on your charts and see the trades. Okay. So number one, okay, well, first, before we go to number one, drawing on your charts is critical. You need to draw wedges. You need to use the predictors. You need to draw boxes. You need to draw lines. You need to draw trend lines. You need to even draw on your charts with arrows, which way you're wanting to go if a certain situation happens. You might even draw channels on your chart. Okay? First off, when you draw on your charts, the most important thing that you need to do is determine if you are trending or chopping, and you draw horizontal lines and trend lines on your charts. We're going to go over exactly how to do this in the next few minutes, but basically this will be to where you can pause it. I'm even going to have the little chart available. I think I'll even put it on our website because I did go ahead and copied it. See here. So we'll probably just put this on our website. Okay. You must also know what the minor trend, the secondary trend, the medium trend, and the longer term trend are. And we have indicators for that. You also need to know what the trend is on the left and on the right. Okay? Very important to know both sides. We went over this a second ago. Draw trend lines, horizontal lines, wedges, and boxes. Okay? Use your trend bands, which is like our VIP dynamic trend, for your continued trends. And if you miss a thrust, you either wait for the retrace or you take minor lightning breakouts with tight stops. Okay? Use lightning 1 or 2 as minor breakouts and retraces. use lightning 3 as medium trend and watch for breakout and retrace, and then use our Object Trader tools to see clear trade setups, and use Object Trader itself to make the trade using our object types. Okay? Now, we're going to go over each and every one of these in the webinar tonight, but matter of fact, just get in the habit of almost memorizing this right here. You've got to draw on your charts. Okay? It's ultra important to know where support and resistance is. It's important to know where that trade's coming down to on a trend line. It's important to know, if you're in a channel, whether it's a straight across channel, an up channel, or a down channel. Okay? Draw on your charts. Okay? Y'all really aren't hearing that sound, huh? It's either GoToWebinar or my headset's going crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next screen. No sound? Well, good. I'll just ignore it then, because if you're not hearing it, it's no big deal. Okay. Now, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and show you a chart. This is a real chart. Bear with me a second. All right. Now, looking at this chart, you get up and let's say you just got up last night at midnight. This is about midnight my time, somewhere around midnight anyway. Okay. So what is the left side of this chart doing? And what is the trend? Well, if you've been trading any amount of time at all, you know that higher lows and higher highs is what kind of a trend? It's trending up, right? Okay. Very important to know the left side of the chart. Ratcheting up. Okay. What is the right side of the chart doing? You go, wait a minute, Gary, I don't see the right side of the chart because you said this is the left side. Okay, let's draw it. See if we can draw it. Okay, this is the left side of the chart right here. Pardon me, the right side of the chart right here. Okay, this basically is your high, your low, the higher high from before. So what I do is just simply draw lines on my chart. Okay, I also draw lines on my chart if I start seeing a high, a low, a lower high, and they start breaking. Okay, even on my smaller trend, because it's important too. You have 4 trends on your chart. Okay, we were talking about those a minute ago. This is your minor trend. This is your secondary trend. This is your medium trend. And this is your longer term trend. Okay, those are all 4 very important. You can make money trading this right here, these 2. But you do have to be aware what your overall is also. Because looking at this chart right now, they will not break Lightning 3 until they take out 1561, at least this very moment anyway. Now, if they get some thrust, retrace, and a break again, you may get another Lightning 3 up in this area and roll over too, okay? So always know what your left side's doing and what the right side's doing. For instance, is this just a retrace? Well, we need to look at the actual chart to find out for sure, but I do like to use this little webinar template that I have, and anybody that's with Viper is welcome to it. It's a little template that I use called webinar. Okay. And what it simply does is it uses a real chart, but it makes the bars transparent. It makes lightning where you can see it just real easy on your chart. And like I say, I kind of like it. I watch this. Here's an example. If I was drawing on this chart, if somebody was giving me a test and I said, okay, what is this chart doing right this very minute? Okay. Well, first off, I would do this. I would take an arrow line and I would say, you know what? For sure, if they break this, I'm going to be looking more than likely to be looking for a short. If they break that, okay, let's go with, we need a little brighter red since it's a black background. That'll still do. Okay, and then we need a little retrace, right? I thought I saved that as default. I did save that as default. Could have sworn I did. Set default. Okay, and then I would look for this little deal right here. Okay, now that's what I'd be looking for. Or I'd be looking for this and a continuation to the up move, and this more than likely would be, more than likely this is going to be pretty close to mid-band. I don't know for sure without looking at the actual chart, but I would be pretty much betting that it is. Okay, but we are starting to get a high, a low, lower highs and lower lows. So on the right-hand side of the chart, okay, the left side of the chart, the trend is up. The right side of the chart, the trend is down. Everybody sees that? Okay, but only on the minor. Okay, we don't know if it's going to break like power meter 3, to give an example, until it takes out 1561-ish right through here. Okay, that's where that is right there, is that swing. Okay, so let's look at the actual chart and let's see if we can actually trade it. Okay, the actual chart is right here. Now, this is the actual chart that we were just looking at just a second ago, right here. Okay, that's the actual Russell chart that we're looking at, same time period and everything. Okay, so see, we diagnosed it already. We have a high, we have a low, we have the same high, basically. So that negates, like a double top. So then you have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high here, and you have a lower low. Okay, that's starting to tell you that maybe they're going to break down, maybe they're not. Okay, we don't know for sure what they're going to do just yet. Okay, but we do know that if this happens to break down, come back and make any kind of retrace and roll over, that we're going to take this trade. Okay, now we could take a breakout trade also if we wanted to, because to give an example, stealth is already turning red. Okay, if they were to break this right here, this would pretty much be saying you're having a high, a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high again, and a lower low. So they're definitely starting to trend down, but we won't get a change background for a bit until they really force it, if they force it. Okay, so basically what we would be doing as Viper traders, we'd be boxing this in. Okay, matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do just that. We'll take Object Trader, and remind me in just a little bit, because I'm going to show all you members the new Time Trader. And I've also made Time Trader where you'll have 8 different zones, so you can actually set up to 8 different times. The only thing you cannot do is you cannot overlap them. Okay, so for instance, if you set this for, December the 9th, say for tomorrow morning, for instance, 7:59, you can't let it run for 120 minutes and still set this one for 8:30. Okay, so we'll have to set this for like 30 minutes, and then we would set this one for 30 minutes. You see what I mean? That way you're not overlapping them at all. Okay, we'll go over that in just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and just box this in. I'm going to turn this off of true right for now, simply because I like to set my regions manually. Okay, so we're kind of breaking so far, so let's just do a little region like so, and let's see, we had a little thrust retrace. We've got resistance right across here. Okay, we've got resistance across here, but if you do that, it's too much of a breakout. You see what I mean? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring it down here, because if it actually does break this little swing here, then we'll more than likely take this out, check this, and so on. Okay, if we break down, we could easily check here. Just a second, I like a little darker. Get rid of this one. Okay, now a word of caution: when you're taking trades against a trend, or now with a trend, I'm okay with this, but see this little red stealth? This is telling me that this is starting to very possibly break down. Now we don't know for sure it's going to, but if we box it, we'll find out pretty soon. Okay, but if I take a box type trade like this and it's against the trend, at least my left side, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that it stays outside that box. In other words, you don't want this to pop out, close, and then get you in a trade and then pop back above midband and off she goes, because they fake a lot. I mean, when you're trading, you've probably seen this time and time again that they fake you and fake you and fake you. So if they do fake you, then don't let them stay faked. In other words, just get out of the trade. I like to use basically like another bar back. To give an example, if this was to close down, I'd put my stop just above that bar because well, frankly, I don't trust it yet. But that is a trade that we teach in the Viper webinars and everything because this is a what we call a mid-band trade. Okay, and you can also tell that this thing's been going thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. See what I mean? It's been going like crazy. So you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thrusts. That's a lot of thrusts. So could it actually retrace? Well, probably even down to here. We've got our little swing down here, right? See it to the left there? So if we were to take this trade, this is around midnight, then we would want to jump into it only with the anticipation that it's going to break and stay broken, or if it's going to break up, we're going to at least break this little swing across here. See it? Let me pull this over here. See that swing right across there? That's resistance, and they barely checked it a little bit ago. So if they do break to the upside, they'll probably break that. Okay, so we'll just simply set it both ways, and you pretty much almost have to do at least 2 contracts, because if you don't, you never get runners. Okay, because how many times have you seen it? You know, you'll get a breakout, it'll come all the way down to here, and you'll go, wow, I'm up 15 ticks. You got 1 contract, and then they bounce off of it, and they go all the way back to your cost, up above it, take you out, and then roll over. Okay, so that's why you really don't want to go, you know, with just like 1, unless you're willing to literally ride it with the swings. And if you rode it with the swings, you'd have to ride it like this. Let me draw it. See there? There's your swing right across here to the left. So if for instance, if you took a 1 contract and this was to go, you know, all the way down here, you're almost going to have to let it, you know, watch the retraces and see if you can stay in it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna get this trade one way or the other. The reason we're leaning a little bit down is because both of our power meters are down. Okay, so let's just see what we get. Now, by the way, we called you know, some Russell trades in the room this morning. I'm going to show you how we drew on our charts to get those, because this whole webinar is about drawing on your charts. Now, remember a little bit ago, we drew on our chart. We knew where these swings are, okay? And the whole idea of trading is to try to make money every single day, okay? You've got to diagnose your charts. Now, don't get in the habit of, you know, diagnosing your charts. Well, we got it, okay? Let's go ahead and go here. We'll take one of them down because we're going to try to go for a runner, obviously. And this is a swing right here, so that's probably where I'd be trying to go. Okay, now notice that I'm only staying in this one because it is staying with my trade, okay, and it's staying outside the box. Okay, now that's only up like 30 bucks, so that's nothing. Okay, but I could also make sure that this doesn't close back inside this resistance by simply putting my box, for instance. This is short, so if it did close back above here, I could actually go long on it instead. Not long, but I mean take it out. So let me show you how to do that. We've added feature on Object Trader that we can actually turn this on. That's the bottom of the region, so that's the B button. And I'll just set it for close for both contracts. If this does close back inside that box, I'll be out of this trade. Everybody see that? Okay, well, it looks like it's going okay. All right, now that's a little minor breakout trade, lightning breakout trade. Notice that my backgrounds or anything have not changed yet, but this is a trade that you want to really polish up your eyes to see, so to speak. Charles on his webinar on Saturday was talking about develop your eye to see the trade. Okay. Now, draw on your charts. Okay. Let's look and see, where is this going to retrace to? What do you think? Well, let's look to the left and trade the right. See right here, there's a swing. All right. Let's watch for a predictor. We are getting a red background finally. We haven't gotten a mid-band change yet. But always, if you draw on your charts and you see these areas that they should come back to give an example, this broke down, so I'm going to draw two lines. I'm going to draw right here, and I'm going to draw right here. This is a shallow retracement. This is a heavier retracement. Okay, let's see which one we get. And predictor, by the way, will probably show us the one it'll be, because it's looking at this price action. Now see how I'm drawing on my chart as I'm trading. Okay. Now we'll just leave our stop up here for the time being, because see, I've got my box where it'll automatically take me out. This stop doesn't even have to, be anything to do with it. The beauty of Object Trader, and I've had a lot of people tell me this, is that they don't have to have their stop seen by all the traders out there. If you put your stop nice and tight, they're going to nick it. If you put your stop, though, where they're not even going to try to get it, but you're calculating where your trade is with your lines and everything, then you're going to do pretty good. Okay, let's see if we get a predictor. We're going to get, between these two lines, we're going to get a predictor. I'll just draw the box. Well, that's not a box. Get rid of that. Draw a box. In this area right here, we should get a predictor. So let's watch and see. We're drawing on our charts. Okay. Now at Viper Trading Systems, we've got the tools that you can trade this too. See how this is just hitting its head right here. Now we haven't gotten a predictor yet, so this isn't it yet. We got to get a little thrust retrace for predictor to figure it out. But do you know we've got tools actually on here that, let's say, rather than going with predictor, Mindy, we haven't sent out the new OT yet, because I'm also adding another trade to it that I'm trying to get done, and that's the real-time lightning. But I'm going to show you tonight the time trader, but we're going to do it at the time that I called it this morning. Okay, because that trade actually, as a matter of fact, I think most of the charts worked on time trader today, didn't they? Okay. Now, when you get a little thrust and a retrace like we're doing right now, you can actually do this, get a wedge going. Now, don't set it just yet, because we don't know how far this is coming down yet. Let's see if we can get something telling us that. See how that came right to my line here? Now, that one, evidently, that's as far as it's going to go. So we're not going to get a predictor yet. So we're going to wait. We're still in the trade. I'll go ahead and speed it up just a little bit. That was phantom trade. No, not really. It wasn't a phantom trade, Albert, because see, your phantom had already changed, your chart had already changed to red, and your midband had changed to magenta. That's not a legitimate phantom trade. Now, if this would have stayed yellow, and this would have stayed even the lighter color here, but not red, then yes, that would be a phantom. Yeah, that's one thing you got to really watch for. Let me show you a phantom. Here's a phantom right here to give an example. See, you had a big thrust up. There's a phantom trade right there. See how it comes down to phantom and then just bounces up. And notice that your midband and your color scheme is still your trending. Okay. Let's see. Let's speed this up. This was real slow in the middle of the night, so we can't go 500 times. So that's too fast, though. Just a second. We'll go about 20 times. Would you go long here? No. No, not at all. Because see, now you've got a red background. You've got a magenta midband. You've got a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low, even on the lightning 3. See here? Lightning 3. And it broke. So no, I would not be going long here at all. red stealth, tilting down on the mid band, everything. I mean, it's definitely a downtrend. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And oh, and our little region disappeared because we changed it to a wedge. Now, let me show you a little trade that I like to look for, and I know Charles teaches this also. See, we got the break. Now, remember, when you get a break, if they fake you, then, just don't let them fake you. In other words, if that bar would have gone down and the next bar would have tried to go up and close back above that line, you just get out of that trade. That trade can get to the point where it costs you very little money if you do it that way. And especially after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type of a, trade on your chart. Okay. In other words, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. They finally give up the ghost and then they go down and check lower levels. Another rule of thumb is if they break micro, they check medium. If they break medium, they check larger swings. Now, if you look to the left to see a larger swing, look at that, way down there, 1551.60. And that's pretty much, well, there's even another one over here, see it? 1547.80, right? Okay. So, but the whole thing is to stay with the trade until it gives up what it's doing. Okay. Just to give an example, see where you would put your stop now on here? Everybody see that? You've got a swing right across here. But if you've got a runner, you can also run it like with mid-band or something like that. You can also get ready to watch for a predictor. Let's just pretend we're not even in this trade because I see it retracing. I think we'll get it. We drew our little box earlier. Let's just see if it gets it because I'll just about bet you it does. There's your predictor right there. Everybody see that? Predictor telling us that, matter of fact, it's looking at that swing again. See right there? So if it gets up here, could we take this trade just willy-nilly, or would you want to do it with, like, say, wedge, to give an example? Or how about stealth? Now, drawing on your charts, if you draw on your charts, every single time, with your pricing, look to the left to trade the right. See how it's even breaking this little swing here? Anytime they break it, even with a little bit of a wick, they're probably going to break it. See what I mean? But they may retrace first. And that's fine, because that would have been a, quote, breakout trade. So we're looking for a retracement trade. See if we can get it. Now, what I like to do personally is if I see this bar go down and then it goes back up, I'll draw a trend line. If you're not sure and you see a W pattern, as I said, long, you're safe to use bar close. Well, keep in mind, Lewis, on your question. Now, if you're talking about like a little bit more scalping and things, you can do that type of thing. But, the one thing that we have done really, really well with the way everything that we do is price action. This is a short background. This is a short mid-band. This is white predictors. This is telling me that this is heading down, not up. So could you take a long, just like real quick, for instance, like above resistance? Sure. But that's not what I'm going to be teaching tonight, though. Here we're getting, I see a trade. That's a little bit what I consider a little bit of a funky trend line. Let's see if we can get a better one than that, if it'll pop up anymore. Because I like them if they pop up. Now that's right at predictor. If you're gutsy, you can actually just sell this thing right here. Okay, everybody see this? If this goes back below 1562.20 like that, see where that was support, where I drew on my chart? I got in a little trade. Okay, now I could also even add, let's see, that'd be the bottom of my trade to be short out, touch +2. Well, we already got it. Everybody see it? I just did a touch plus 2, wedge, okay? And let's go ahead and put our stop just above midband since we didn't do that one with a region. Now, couldn't we also protect our trade with wedge? Sure, draw on your chart. Let's see, way back here. Nope, too bad. This one. I'd probably back it up a little bit, like near midband. If this was to happen to pop up here, I could get my stop out of the way where nobody sees my stop. And if this takes out this trend line to the upside, like so, let's see, that's a long, let's go touch plus, let's do like touch plus 3, just in case we have to get out of this one. We'll see if it actually takes out that trend line. If it doesn't, we'll continue heading down. See how you can use drawing on your chart with our tools? Pretty cool tools, by the way. Now this is my bottom. Notice when I draw a wedge, this is my bottom button, and this is my top button now. Okay. See, is that going to close 3 or go 3 above there? It could. We'll find out. So far, it's holding resistance. See, if you draw on your chart, you're going to see where these trades should be. Okay. That looks like that's going to be okay to me. Okay. Now, drawing on your charts, where do you think you would draw on your chart the next time? Well, we've got tools that draw it for you, but you still have to draw on your charts. Okay. Let's let it do its thing and see if it does do a thrust, and then I want you guys and gals to tell me where the next trade is. Okay, we're going to wait for a break if it does it. Otherwise, it's going to take us out. And it might take us out, but don't I have a trend line protecting me? See, because my trend line is right here. And that's saying, okay, Gary, if this bounces and it takes this out by touch plus 3, you're going to be out. You'll probably be down a little bit because it's going to be up in here somewhere, right in here. So I might lose a little bit on that trade, but I'm trying to protect it with a trend line. Okay. Now, some old boy that's trading this is looking, going, wow, somebody's got their stop way up here at 1566.20. Huh. Wonder what they know that I don't know. But you see what I'm doing instead? I've got my stop right there. Because I would actually, this won't go 4 contracts the other way. It will just simply close it out. Okay. But I can change this to 3 if I want. And then if it does take out that trend line, that's it. Looks like we're good, though. I'll take this trend line away now. We're good. All right. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Anybody that's in the room right now, where's your next trade? Because I can tell you where it's at right now. And it's not because you're able to say, wow, you know what? That's easy to do. Maybe you traded this last night. No, I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I can tell you where the trade is. There you go. Several of you are getting it. Very good. Let's see. So by pulling my stops too tight, I'm getting nailed. Absolutely. Okay, now where's your next trade on this chart, though? Let's just say we take off 1 and you want to add on. Okay, let's just add on like 2. Where's the next trade on this chart? By drawing on your charts. All right, let's look. They've already tested this level here. They thrust down. This is your minor retracement right here. This is your more higher retracement above midband. So in this area right here is going to be my next trade. You want to watch and see if it does? And if it does, by the way, could I actually be ready for the trade? Absolutely. How about a wedge again? Now, since I've got 1 line, you got to be careful. Don't get long if you're trying to get short. See what I mean? Because a TMB button just means that when prices are above it, it's the bottom button. When prices are below it, it's the other button. Okay, that's my trade right there. What do you think? You want it? Yep. See it trying to go down. Okay. But let's go ahead and, well, let's see, we're in 3. So let's go ahead and add on this one just for the fun of it, since we've got touch plus 3. Let's see, could you use predictor to enter? Absolutely. Yeah, you can use predictor to enter. Now I can't now, more than likely, because it's already hit predictor. The only way I could do it, let's see if we can do it. Let's see, I'll do predictor. Nope, it's already getting past it. See, now I'd have to actually chase it. Now it did my trend line instead. Okay. Now that trend line was not really where I wanted. Notice where predictor was where I wanted. Okay. Now, if you look at this chart, you have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, lower low, lower high, so and so. Okay, so you've got thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 3 thrusts. That's when you've got to start watching your trade. It doesn't mean that it's going to, start heading up anytime soon, but it does mean you got to start watching it when you start getting 3 thrusts. Okay, let's see. This is 6:14 in the morning. Still heading down though, isn't it? Now, real quick question to the team. Where's your next trade on this chart? Anybody? Because you can see the next trade on this chart. Let me just show you. Okay, they hit this swing. See this swing right here? They nailed it already. So if you draw on your charts, they've already tested that swing. So where's the swing they haven't tested? Anybody? How about right there? Could that be a swing that we want to look at? What do you think? You want to just try it? Let's just pretend you're not in anything just yet. And I'm going to try to just, let's just close it. And I'm going to try to do like 3 and just see if I can get, watch our total. There's 685. I'm going to just simply do like 10 ticks and I'm going to sell it if it touches that line. And kind of tries to wick back. See it trying to wick back through the line? Okay, now be careful with that trade because this trade could actually go up now too, right? That's what we call a mid-band kiss trade. And watch, I'm just trying to do 10 ticks. We went from 685 to 695 to 740 to 710 to 7.25, 740, 7.25. Let's just see if we can get 10 ticks. Maybe. Maybe. What does everybody think about drawing on your charts? You think that very possibly this idea right here of using wedges, predictors, boxes, lines, trend lines, put in your mind where you want to get the trade and even channels? Isn't that actually a good way to trade? That's the whole idea of why we developed, when we got our 10 ticks, that's the whole idea of why we developed region. Because what is region? Region is just simply a box. Bar close. Well, we know what bar close is. You just close a bar, right? But then look, lightning. Lightning is actually little thrust retrace. That's this trade right here, like so. Little thrust retraces, okay? Then you have raise, which kind of did away with raise actually because we've got a tool now called wedge, and I like it better than, here's another trade by the way. They're trying to check this swing right here, if they can. But if they hit mid-band, you want to try to get 10 ticks again? No, we already missed. We missed it. Never mind. It rolled too quick. If we get a bar up, I'll go ahead and take it. Yeah, I'm going to take it. See it? It's kissing resistance, and I'm just going to try to get 10. I'm going to put the stop very tight because this didn't take out the low. Everybody knows what happens when you don't take out the lows, right? Then get ready to draw your box and say, you know what? We're in this box right here. Okay? Now this was getting awful close to the open. You want to try Time Trader and see what it did? Let's do Time Trader. Because this is when I open the room right here. 7:59 is when we do our trade. We're going to have to hurry to get 7:59. Let's see here. We're going to do our strategy. We're going to turn it off. We're going to go up and we're going to have to do probably 8 o'clock or a little after. So we're going to do 1-8. Let's see, it's not quite 8 o'clock, so I'm going to try 8 o'clock. Whoop, got to hurry. And we're going to do it for 30 minutes. And we're going to put Time Trader on the chart. And we're going to do now Time Trader will draw a region the moment that bar closes. Let's see what we get. The bar's got to close before Time Trader will actually draw. See, even though it's just now 8 o'clock, see it right there, 8 o'clock, but that bar has to close. There it is. There's your Time Trader right there. All right. So we're going to take a time trade either down or up. Okay. Now, this is the beauty of Time Trader now, though. See that swing? I wouldn't take the down until at least took that out, and I'd be looking like, well, if they better break. You see what I mean? If they break here, I want them to break here because that's not what I consider a good trade. But this is based on time. In other words, this is when oil opens, so there's a lot of traders that are starting to get at their computers. So let's see if it works. And we'll go ahead and do a regular trade just to see. How do you like Time Trader? Did you like that? What that does is it just draws a region on my chart, and I can manipulate the region the way I want to. Okay, and by manipulating the region the way I want to, I can even do it live. Feel like if I wanted to take that little trade long, for instance, there's resistance right there. See where that little resistance is? Well, this is my box right here. See that box right there? See that little white box? That's where the region actually draws. So let's see if we can get a little trade. We'll speed it up just a little bit. Did you hit sell and buy? The way you do on that, Lewis, is you just turn on, for instance, if I wanted a short outside the bottom or a long outside the top, there it is right there. There's my long. Okay. Now, since this is actually a short background, what I would probably do would be something like this. So you have a high, low, lower, high, lower, low. If they break micro, they go up and check medium. I would put a line on my chart like that, and more than likely, I would actually take my profit because that's still a downtrend. Okay, everybody see that? That's still a downtrend. Remember, looking to the left to trade the right. If you need to see the other chart, we'll look at it. But see your downtrend? Let me get rid of lightning too. See, this is a real chart. So you have a high, low, lower, high, lower, low. So that's definitely still a downtrend, right? So let's look at our regular chart. And unless it takes this out, we're not heading up. Everybody see that? Okay, so let's see. It was kind of slow this morning, but I remember, if I remember right, Russell actually did do a little pop. But see how cool Time Trader could actually be for you? I know Greg likes to do the time type trades. There, we're pretty good on that. Okay, let's do another chart because I want to show you. We only did this particular chart for 30 minutes, so I'm going to do another one and set it for the open of the market. Unless this goes ahead and hits, it may go ahead and hit. Okay, your 30 minutes is over, and it just hit its profit target. Okay. Now notice though that it just hit resistance right here. So couldn't we have shorted that? Now I was going 30 times, so we missed it. But look at this. If you draw on your charts, see that little trend line? Even this little trend line? Let me tighten it up. See it right through there? Could you have actually taken that trade? And the answer is actually yes. Okay, so if you miss this trade, what do we tell people to do? Well, if you're going to take this trade, if it breaks this little swing here, then don't let it go back against you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, that's a little late. But see it breaking that line right there? Don't let it go back against you. Everybody see that? And your target is right down there, drawn on your chart. Now, could you do a runner? Yes, you could do a runner too. But keep in mind that when they come to double bottoms, they usually bounce and you're going to get another chance to get in. Okay? This trade we actually called in the room this morning. Remember I said box in at the open? This was the trade. Now just now we just missed it because we had that going 30 times and obviously it was too quick. Okay? But looking at this chart, you guys and gals tell me where the next trade is if we get any kind of retrace, because I'm going to let you look at the chart and then you tell me where it's at. And I'm going to draw on my chart as you get ready to do that. Okay? Let's get rid of lightning. And let's draw on our chart. Okay, let's see. You had a thrust, retrace, thrust. So you've got a swing level across here. You've got a thrust, retrace, thrust over here. That's the same spot. You got another level right there. See it? Thrust, retrace, thrust. So our little sweet spot is right here. See if it gets it. And I'll bet your predictor will nail the trade too. Okay, you got your double bottom so far. Now, could you actually go long at that bottom? Yes, but again, the same principle goes in that you don't let it go back against you. You want to try it for 10 ticks just for the fun of it? Nope, too late. It's already up. Too late. But we are ready to take a short, aren't we? Look at that predictor. Right at the line. Goes back below my line. We're going to fire it. See there? We just fired it. I'm going to go ahead and do actually 6 simply because I forgot to turn those on. Put our stop just above there. Everybody see how we draw on our charts? Always look to the left to trade the right. Draw your better swings. They don't necessarily have to be numbered swings, but they have to be actual swings. Okay, see that trade right there? Now, if anybody remembers this trade this morning, Russell dropped like a proverbial stone. I know y'all remember it because it was called. Isn't that a monster? Looking to the left to trade the right. Does anybody see, draw your lines? Where should it go? It's already almost there. There's your another swing right across here. There's your another swing right across here. Another swing right across here. These are areas that they're trying to test. But we as traders, what do? We use the tools that are on our chart and we watch for lightning breaks. We watch for bounces. Keep in mind, when we get these color changes on these charts like this, that's usually a pretty good indication that you're actually in a trend change. Okay? and then you get that retrace like we did right here, and you got that monster nice move. Okay, now if you get the green and the green midband, even if it flattens out for a while, that's usually that more than likely it's even going to be a trend change. Okay, now what does everybody do to protect their trade on this one right here? Anybody? What would you do if you missed this trade that we called this morning in the room and you had nothing but downward momentum? Where would you get in this trade? Anybody? Would you just wait? Or could you see a little retracement? You want to try it and see? I'll show you something that you can actually do. Here's a swing right across here. There's a little break area right here. If it breaks that, could you actually take a chance on the trade? Well, let's kill it. Let's see. If it touches below, there we go. We're below it. Everybody see that? Now I don't let it go back against me. That's actually selling a retrace. Selling a thrust. See how that kissed my line just then? I'm not out of that trade. Okay, you can take a trade after and during a thrust, but you have to do it based on these little bitty pullbacks and little breaks. That's why you're going to really like real-time lightning, because real-time lightning would take that trade right there. You just have to grin and bear it and say, I'm going to turn on RLT over here and I'm going to go for a short, and real-time lightning would take that trade. Okay, because that's the way we're engineering real-time lightning to be, is it's going to look for this right here. For instance, down, back up, rolls over, real-time lightning. Down, up, rolls over, real-time lightning. Even this one here went back up, real-time lightning, real-time lightning, real-time lightning. See it? Those are going to be some phenomenal good trades. And the reason we're doing this for everyone is because we want you to have the ability to take that type of a trade without cringing. Okay, now that's a pretty good thrust. That's also, what is that? We drew our line. It was support from somewhere, wasn't it? Yep, way over here. Here's another support level right down here. Let's look to the left to trade the right and see if we can keep it. Okay, now when I start getting any kind of a retrace like this, let's go ahead and get rid of some of these lines. We don't need them anymore because they're gone. Anybody see a trend line? Getting awful close to the lowest support level. What if this breaks that trend line back to the upside? Isn't that a good trend line? Well, if it does, you know what I would do? I wouldn't let it go back against me. Now, I don't know if it's going to bounce there, but that looks like a pretty good spot to bounce. But let's just see. Time trade. Whoop, that's time trade. We want wedge. Wedge, touch plus 3 is good enough for me. We'll go 3. So far, it's still hugging our trend line. We're fine. Everybody see my trend line? I drew it from way back here. It's just now kissing it. But we're at a support level. Could it keep dropping? Absolutely, it could. It's right at support. I can move this live, by the way, just in case I don't want it quite yet. So if it goes above it, it'll be my T button. If it stays below it, it's like a B button. But we're actually not looking so much for short right now as a break of a trend line if it does break. Now, let me show you another trade too, because I see this actually all the time, and we draw this in the room. Let's see if we're at the low levels yet. Let's see here. We do have Another level right here. See it right there? 146.30. That's another level. Let's just watch it. We got our trend line drawn. I'm going to redraw my trend line just a little bit, just so we don't get wicked in. We'll go along with stealth here. That might have been it, actually. I think, yeah, that was it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's look to the left to trade the right and see where this thing's going. Back here, that's resistance, so I'd probably, since this is counter trend, I'd probably want to take everything out right up through there. Everybody see that? Okay, let's look to the left to trade the right again. Well, this might actually go. Let's move one of our targets. Now, did you see another tool we have also? Let me show you this one right here. See this stealth right here? That would actually get you in that trade right there on that bar. Now, if they break this swing right across here, right there, I wouldn't want to stay in this trade. But now we have an uptrend, don't we? So what are we looking for? Anybody? Quickly say it, because you need to know where that next trade is. Let's look to the left to trade the right. Let's just kill this one just for the fun of it. Let's see, thrust, retrace, thrust. So you got a swing right across here. Oh, lo and behold, that's mid-band too. So wouldn't we be looking for a bounce right off of that? What says the team? Let's see if we can get one. Watch predictor also. I'm going to speed this up and see. This may have just gone to the moon. I don't remember. I think that, like always, they thrust and retrace, obviously. Nope, I didn't want that one, doggone it. Well, we're all right, but I don't like it because that's a breakout. Just bear with me just a second. I'm going to put a real tight, because we want the retracement, not the breakout. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, we'll get the retracement. Everybody see what I did? I forgot to turn that off when I was moving my region. My trade's right here. Matter of fact, it's actually under cost right now. We're all right. I'm going to go ahead and close that trade out, and I'm going to get this one. Maybe. I didn't want that one either. I didn't want that one turned on. Well, we'll take it anyway. Let's see what we get. I'll also take that one at the bottom too. No, not more than 6. That's too many. We won't do it. But this is where it's gonna go down to. You watch and see. I just bet you it does. I see this time and time again right there. Now, if you were trading the way we teach, let's kill this one for just a second. Couldn't you box this in like third candle? See how that just busted out of that box? I didn't have that set. Let's see. Looking to the left to trade the right. You need to take off most of your coin at the swings. So we'll do that. And then we'll do a runner. Okay. Now, if this does decide to break down instead, obviously, what do we need to do as traders? Well, we need to put our stop just under that swing. And look to the left to trade the right. Where is a swing? Well, you already took this one out. You took this one out. See there? To the left. So let's see how much higher they're going, if they do go any higher. Is there another swing? Yep, right here. Look to the left to trade the right. And then we'll go ahead and just follow our stop up. Use lightning. That's doing a little lightning. It's going to go red. Took me out. Okay. Now, could we actually short this up here? And the answer is absolutely yes, but we've already missed it. You should have boxed it up here. Everybody see how to draw on your charts? Can you use tools like this in your real-time trading? Now, this looks like this is getting into some chop to me now because you barely took out the top. Let's just see if we're in a range. They checked that swing, but they haven't checked this one yet. Let's see if they do, just for the fun of it. Let's speed it up. We're not going to take a trade, but I just want to see it. I'll buy it if it hits that line. See where I drew my line? I did that on 500 times, but the reason I did that is because that was really good support right there. But going 500 times, obviously, you can't hit it as good as I wanted to, okay? Because I wanted to actually kind of get it on lightning. I could have turned lightning on as far as that goes. Okay, now, does anybody want to tell me where the next trade is? And then we're going to go ahead and wrap. Okay, could you take a, quote, thrust trade? The answer is still yes, but what do you got to do? You got to wait for it to pull back at least a little bit and make you a little box. Okay, you want to see if we can get something? We'll see. We got to get a little thrust retrace. And with this bar trying to go down, here's the way I would personally do this. If you're going to take a breakout type trade, see if we can get something. Now, if it touches that line, I'll hit market order, or if it goes above that line, I'll hit market order. But what I'm going to do though is I'm only going to keep this trade if it stays above that line, because we're already in a thrust. Okay, so let's see. Let's just do like 1 if it touches my line or tries to bounce. Okay, there's 1. Okay, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm drawing on my chart. Now, might this trade go against me? The answer is yes on that, because it actually came close to the top, but we're getting a little retrace right now, right? So you want to see if this works? Okay, there's your bar up, almost. If that bar closes up, I'll grab one more. See how drawing on your charts, whether you look to the left with the smaller or the larger, see, this is actually starting to break up. You've taken out lightning 3. Wasn't that one of the rules we talked about? Use lightning 3 as medium trend and watch for breakout and retrace. Yep. So if that closes up, I'll add 1. I could do that real easily. I just turn this on. I've even got an auto feature on Object Trader now that I can actually turn on auto bar close if I want, but be very careful with 4-range bars if you do that. Okay, because what can happen on that, you can get like 4 bars in a row, you know, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, and you could be in 4 contracts. What I really want to do is watch it and see if the bar closes up, turn it off, and then try another one if it closes above the swing. Let's see if it does. Okay, there's 2, there's 3, there's 5. I'm going to kill it now. See there how easy that is? And then tighten the heck out of your stop. There's another. What if you weren't in this trade at all? Anybody see this right now? See that? See that right there? Isn't that one? Isn't that one? See what I mean? See how it's just breaking up? You got your swings. That's the way you do it. You draw on your charts. What does everybody think? You want to draw on your charts from now on? You utilize the predictors, because you're going to see some trades on predictor. Let's protect our trade, by the way. Let's go ahead and go under that swing since that's a lightning swing. Or we can turn on power meter, either way. Okay? But looking at this chart, where's the next trade on this chart? Anybody? Let's draw some lines and just real quick, we're going to be through. All right, you have a thrust, retrace, thrust. You got little pullbacks. So I'm going to draw a line here on top of that swing because it barely touched it. Those are what we call micro moves. They haven't checked it on any kind of a larger move. Then I'm going to draw a line here. Okay. And that's only if they break micro. Now let's look at micro. There and here. Drawing on your charts in real time. Doggone it. Draw the line. Yeah, it broke it. All right, so if it breaks micro, it goes down and checks medium swings, doesn't it? Okay. That's very possibly like a little trade right there, but I just missed it, unfortunately. So let's see if we get some lightning. I'll turn on lightning, by the way, and just see. Let's see if we missed a good trade. Doggone it. See, I had my line drawn, though, didn't I? But I've got it going too fast. I've got it going like 15 times. Let's see if we get one more trade because I got my lines drawn on my charts and see if we get it. I'm not taking a breakout trade, not unless we get a break and a pullback. Has not checked that swing. It has checked this one now. Notice that was a 10-tick trade, by the way. If you ever see it moving quickly, then, you know, if you can't get the trade really close to your line, then don't take it at all. You see what I mean? Because we just missed it again at support. That's okay. Let's just use lightning. See how lightning's red? Let's do a PM trade, and let's do 3, and we're just going to go for 10 because I got to wrap this webinar if we get it. Power meter green will get us the trade. It hit my line exactly. Power meter's going to be late. Yep, there's power meter right there. See if we get 10 ticks. Bazinga. Okay. Everybody see how that works? If you draw on your charts, you can clearly see where the next trade is. And obviously, if this comes up, let's say, and comes back again, where's your next trade again? Look to the left to trade the right. It checked this one. Which one has not it checked yet? Well, it hadn't checked this one right here yet. So let's just real quickly for the fun of it, let's see if it does. And then I'm not going to trade it, but we'll wrap if it does. Let's just see. Okay, there's a thrust up. Well, we did a PM. Sorry about that. It came within 2 ticks of my line, didn't it? See there? We drew on our charts the way we teach it. I've got PM on, so I got to turn that off with auto. Everybody see that? Comes right where you think it's going to if you just draw on your charts. Teach yourself to draw on your charts, and just to recap just real quick, make sure, where'd my chart go? Bear with me 1 second. There we go. All right. You should be able to see the chart. Make sure you draw wedges, use predictors, use boxes, use lines, trend lines, channels, and then know which direction you're going to take the trade. And you'll find that you can do pretty well. Because if you were in the room today, you know for a fact that we nailed this trade right here this morning on Russell. Remember that trade? And look where the boxes were to begin with. If you traded the 8 o'clock box, you got a long. If you traded the 8:30 box, you got a short. If you traded the 8:31 box, you got a short. See that? These are boxes that are still drawn on my chart from earlier. Okay, because those are actually the time trade type boxes. All right, let's do it again tomorrow, but we'll do it the fun way. We'll do it for real on the charts. Okay, Everybody have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning in the webinar. Sorry this went about 10 minutes over. Let's see, did you hit sell and buy? Well, Lewis, on your question, I had the auto on for my bar close. The lightning just kept firing, but it actually worked out in our favor, actually. So it was okay. What lightning does, if you use a lightning trade, is when this changes directions to like a red, it looks for a green. Okay. And we're going to add, like I said, real-time lightning, which, like I said, I think people are going to really like. Because to give an example, real-time lightning would be ready to fire another trade right there, right now. Okay. Real-time lightning is also going to look at sport too. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you in the morning.